It seems like everyone and their granny has a GoPro these days, but what's the best way to use one for cycling? When I'm not out and about on my bike, I'm earning a crust as a cameraman, so it's a pretty good day at the office when I can combine the two. Back in the day, on the bike filming was a pretty messy business, involving wires, bullet cams and recorders. In short, it was a right pain in the padded shorts. But now we have the GoPro, and it's like little pink camera pixies have smiled on me. GoPros come in two flavours: the Hero version, which is your classic camera shape, or the Session, which is more of a cube design. I'm making this film in November 2016, and the latest GoPro, the Hero 5, is all singing, all dancing, and has the ability to shoot stabilised 4K footage. Now, this isn't going to be a review as such. I'll be explaining some of the things to be aware of when using a GoPro on the bike and some general camera stuff. And yes, that is a technical term. First off, both the Session and the Hero shoot super wide images to give that iconic GoPro look and use exactly the same system of mounts. For me personally though, I feel the Session is a slightly better option to use when cycling. This is due to its ease of use and smaller size, and because it's waterproof as is. With the Hero, you have to either put it in a frame or a waterproof case before you can mount it, which is a bit of a faff. The Session is also far easier to operate. With a single press you switch it on and it starts recording. When you press the button a second time it stops recording and switches the camera off, saving battery life. By contrast, you have to press the front button to switch the Hero on, press the top button to start and stop recording, and then press and hold the front button again to switch it off. One of the slight disadvantages of the Session though is the battery. Both cameras will run continuously for about 90 minutes on a single charge, but unlike the Hero version, you cannot put a fresh one in a Session. Once it's run out of power, you can't use it again until you charge it up. Having said that, I've only ever once run out of power when using one on a ride. Both cameras shoot full 1080 HD or higher in the case of the Hero 5. The image quality is fantastic, although I would say that the Hero's picture looks slightly better than the Session's. At this point, I should say something about frame rates, which is the number of still images or frames that go to make up a second of moving video. Both the Hero and the Session will shoot at a base rate of 25 frames per second for the European PAL system or 30 frames for the US NTSC system. Both cameras also give you the option of shooting at higher frame rates. This makes footage look much smoother at normal speed and is particularly good for slow motion. For the record, I tend to shoot at 25 frames a second, mainly because I think it looks slightly more cinematic and I don't use slow-mo all that often. Fortunately, there are loads of places on a bike to actually mount a GoPro. I like to include the bike somewhere in the shot. This not only shows that it's actually on a bike, but it can also give a great feeling of movement and drama. One of the classic places to mount a GoPro is on the crash helmet using an adhesive mount. This gives a nice general view, but bear in mind as you turn your head the camera will pan with it. It's also surprisingly heavy and can make your neck ache if you wear it for any length of time. Another classic position is on the stem using the bike mount. You can use the camera facing forward to get a shot of the handlebars and the road, or you can turn it around to get a shot of you as you're riding. I've recently discovered these little clamp mounts that can go virtually anywhere on the bike to get great shots, for example here on the forks. For a third person view, I've made my own mounts using plastic water pipe. One very useful piece of kit is one of these telescopic selfie sticks. I found mine at the local pound shop. These use the same screw thread as the GoPro tripod adapter, so you can easily mount your camera. Because it's telescopic, you can fit it in a jersey pocket, and with a little brute force it can be stuck into the ground to act a bit like a monopod. Hopefully I've given you a basic insight into how to use a GoPro for cycling, but because it's only possible to scratch the surface in this short space of time, please feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching.